Hey, George.
What's going on?
Not too much. How are you?
I'm great.
How do you celebrate your first ever NBA 30-point night and a career high?
I mean, I'm no fool to this game. I mean, you got to have amnesia even when you have good games. Like, this is awesome. I'm super happy. But we have a huge stretch of games coming up the rest of this month. Obviously, we have tomorrow and Friday, and I'll definitely, enjoy, what happened tonight. But, that's great, but, we have bigger things to look forward to. But that being said, I'm not going to take away from this moment. This was super cool for me, my teammates getting me involved and looking for me, especially after, I started having a career night. So that's always appreciated, but I think all of us know this is way bigger than, Georges Niang's first 30-point night, believe me. And it was just a huge win to catapult us forward because we have a lot of big games coming up in a tough stretch.
You guys are 20-9 since a slow start, 11-3 in your last 14. You've won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
How do you explain this turnaround?
I just think continue to buy in. I know there was, I don't want to say a lot of pressure, but, obviously you bring in free agents and you expect things to happen, right away. But I think it takes time to gel, and that mixed with injuries and then injuries that kept guys out longer and kind of find rotations and what guys fit better together. And I think we've kind of hit our stride on what works and, which guys play well together and what units do what. And that stuff takes time, and I think we're hitting our rhythm. And the best part about this is guys genuinely, care and like each other. And I've said it before about this team. In professional sports, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just you just show up to work and do your job. But these guys, we actually all really do get along. It's refreshing.
During this stretch, you guys are playing a different style. You're using more four-shooter lineups, a lot of movement. You're passing more than any team in the NBA. How do you maintain this style with this personnel when you get other personnel mixed in there with Darius and Evan coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I don't worry about that at all. Those guys are basketball players. They know how to play. And I think it's kind of a relief for them knowing that, the ball's going to move, and imagine them being off the ball and getting the ball back and what damage they can do as individual scorers and playmakers, because they're extremely talented. I think everybody knows the feeling of what it's like playing the good brand of basketball that we've been playing, and I don't expect that to stop when those guys come back, because we showed glimpses and spurts of playing great basketball when they were with us. So it's just going to be getting their wind under them and getting them back acclimated to playing again. And, I think this is who we are and who we're going to continue to be.
George, when you go 13 and 14, looking back, did you feel like it was going to be that kind of a shooting night for you, or is it just kind of unfold that way? You figure it out as you go?
Yeah, after the first half, I didn't even really know that I was 8 for 8, but I know I was making shots and feeling good, and the ball was moving. And then obviously in the second half, everybody's like, oh, what's your career high? What's this? And, you start to think about it, and it kind of got in my head when I shot that step-back corner three that is very unlike me. But, I don't say I came in thinking I'm going to have a career night. I just think of every shot as a one-shot life, and if I'm going to have to shoot it and shoot it the same way every time, and that's kind of how I approach the game every night, even when I go like 1 for 7.
Are you aware your finger roll inspired Tristan Thompson to run along the sideline and mimic you?
Oh boy, Tristan, that's my guy. He's been great to be around here. Especially as a veteran leader. I'm glad when we signed him because I wasn't going to be the oldest guy on the team. But me and him have really clicked. He's an awesome competitor, awesome leader, awesome teammate, and that just shows him, doing stuff like that, supporting his teammates.
George, you said you guys just all clicking, getting along, and liking each other is super refreshing. What's so refreshing about it?
I think you see it all over professional sports. I mean, did you watch the NFL this weekend? The playoffs, those teams that are really good and they're just getting blown out, there's something missing there, and usually that's camaraderie. I'm not speaking on what's going on with them, but when you have guys that genuinely care about each other and have each other's back, good things tend to happen. I'm not saying that, off nights don't happen where teams get blown out, but when you come together and genuinely, care about one another and the success of one another, there's moments where you don't let go of the rope, where you're like, I'm not going to give in to fatigue or mental exhaustion because I need to do it for the guy next to me. And I think we have a lot of guys like that in this locker room, or all the guys in the locker room are like that.
The last one's Chris.
Did you know your career high was 24 before today?
Yeah, I know my career, and I know my career high is 33 now. So